Swiftblade into Magebane. So Fresh going with that Magebane Moira combination here. Going to try to make that to good use. And then the Riptide on top of that for the early game present. So what do we think, Regrosta?
Still questioning why BMG first picked the Doctor with so many counters up for it. They literally just picked 3 heroes that can deal with Doctor. And I kind of questionable. I was going to say back to the blind bans. I don't really like when the Legion team bans Tremble.
Yeah.
Because they should always want it. And they know that if it's not banned, they would get it. So it's just kind of, I just don't know why BMG would ban Tremble like that when they are Legion, and then first pick the Doctor. Just some questionable drafting from the start here, but I am liking the Fresh draft over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the side that's looking like it's pretty strong so far. So yeah, that's a great point about the Doctor for sure. And seeing a first pick Doctor in the first place is a little interesting in itself. But hey, Houston, got to think confident with an idea at least, so we'll see where it develops to. But Ophelia, Moraxis, Parasite, Kinesis, and now Tempest ban. So Houston really banning out all the junglers here in the Ophelia, Parasite, and the Tempest. Not going to give Hellborn team a comfortable jungler at least. The last ban for Fresh here before we move along. But yeah, Riptide is clearly a hero as well. You know, that's... he has gotten a lot of attention on the scene and just such a powerful one. Now, I am curious. It seems like we've been seeing a lot of that where if you're going up against a Riptide, you bring the Rev Ward with you to the middle lane. So I want to see that Riptide once again get a Rev Ward himself to kind of play those mind games here in that middle. But
yeah, I mean, it's a 100 gold investment to basically keep your Riptide safe, and I hope they did not just pick that into Riptide. I hope that's a Suicide Deadwood at this point in time, because that is not a good matchup for Deadwood against Riptide. So, yeah, I mean, I just hope that is a Suicide Deadwood. I know Suicide Deadwood's very strong at this point, so if that's where they put it, then yeah, it'll be good. But that should not be mid against this Riptide.
What would be good against Riptide then? In your mind?
The heroes that come to mind are like a Revenant. Just really any hero that can sit in the back and not have to be in water range and can harass heavily with a Rev Ward. So really any hero that fits that kind of criteria. So like Revenant's the big one. Or a hero I don't know the last time we've seen, but Gravekeeper. I've come to the conclusion does very well against Riptide.
Okay. Well, we'll see if Gravekeeper appears here or not.
Please, I love that hero.
BMG, yeah. That would be fun, but no, probably not going to be here, unfortunately, but keep something like that in mind, perhaps. So the fourth pick here, it is going to be Pharaoh coming out for Fresh, so now the final pick for Bad Monkey Gaming. Again, it's still not 100% certain where things are going to end up here. You could even still do like a Dr. Jungle. I mean, that's possible, so there's still some ideas here.
Yeah, I think at this point, that's really all they can do is really put him in the jungle. Because, I mean, they do have Swiftblade Deadwood already. So, yeah, it looks like it will end up being a jungle Doctor. I think Teltux played it once or twice, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's definitely not that bad.
Oh, boy.
No.
Death is the answer. Here we go with Deadlift.
So, I'm curious. I feel like Deadlift might actually do okay against the Riptide in a 1v1 situation. Is that... Okay, Balthazar has... Okay, there you go. Okay. So, Teltux jungling the Deadlift. Okay.
Well,
Alrighty.
again, you never want to be too certain until they were actually ready up here.
That's true. That's true.
As Lord Self-Forest does come in with a final pick. Fun to see him for the final pick. It's a strong one to get in that final spot, you could say. And here we go. So they do end up where they are. Yeah, Teltec, it looks like, is going to be a little bit more of that jungling Deadwood here, or Deadlift, I should say. They also have a Deadwood here on their side.
Too many Deads again.
Yeah. But they're going with Deadwood middle, most likely, unless they lane it differently. Could be
Yeah,
possible, but
that looks like what it's going to end up being, and that is very worrisome if that is not a dual-laned Deadwood mid against the Riptide. Because Riptide does do very well in that matchup.
huh. All right, well, we'll have to wait and see here how they actually choose to lane it. But, I mean, Doctor is going to be bottom, of course. Not a huge surprise with that. I do apologize, guys, that it might be a little bit laggy here for a couple more seconds. I have something that is downloading, unfortunately, that I can't stop right now. It has to do with how I have it set up with the stream and everything like that. So it should be, okay, it should actually be good now. So if there was a little bit of lag there, it actually just finished. So it should be good now. All right. Anyways, back to the game itself. Oh, top lane. Look at this. There we go. There's a catch on a Mage Bane. That's such a strong combo right there for Mage Bane. The one downside is they didn't have the follow-up, unfortunately. So, and it's too early to be big. But that's a kind of a flash right there of what to expect. Both Deadlift and Deadwood happen to be decent against Mage Bane.
Yeah, and it looks like this Deadlift's going to be aggressive jungling. So he did start his Q, though, which means I don't think he can jungle. So I wonder if this is going to be kind of a pseudo tri-lane to start this game off.
Yeah, going as Q, that's a good point. Now, it could be a case of they thought that they had the kill right there, so he just leveled it simply, for that sake. But, yeah, that's not what you want to do, of course, if you are looking to jungle him. But, I mean, I think they are. I really do. It's just simply maybe that was the case. They thought they had a kill. So, instead, perhaps he's going to maybe leech a little bit of experience here at the beginning and then eventually transition into the jungle. But we are going to have what essentially is a pseudo tri-lane versus a pseudo tri-lane. A Deadlift and a Lord South Forest jungler here. Talk about not your typical setup, but that's what we indeed have. You see them countering the Rev Ward that was countering the pole camp there. So good start for the Hellborn team at least. But off the bat, Deadlift, he's pressuring Moira. So we're going to have kind of a skirmish here in the jungle now as more counter wards coming out.
So many counters.
Yeah. So no vision, they say. Interesting interaction to start here. Oh, the minute he's going to block the pole camp as well as Deadlift. So.
Yeah. Oh, this Moira might be in a little bit of trouble. No, should be okay. Definitely a lot of harassment on the pan here right now.
Yeah. Well, he's setting up interesting though, but that Deadly's. So let's talk about the other lanes real quickly here before it gets too intense at the top lane. Middle lane, it is a Riptide versus a Deadwood. So it sounds like you're standing there. You're not a huge fan of this for the sake of boxing on Deadwood. So you expect Riptide to have a pretty good time here in the end?
Yeah, I think he gets level 3. I believe Riptide does more damage than Deadwood with the W on. Oh, actually, he does it now. He does more damage. Okay, just kidding. Oh no, no, he was 3. Okay, so yeah, level 3 he does more damage than Deadwood with his W. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty hard for Boxy to do well. But I mean, if he gets maybe some roams from this Deadlift, they could probably set up some kills.
Top lane back up here. Deadlift coming back over. Not going to set anything up. Again, I'm pretty sure he's still just trying to get that level 2 mark. You got Aluna pretty far back out of experience range, so Deadlift needs a couple of creep kills here before that's going to be happening. See the bottom right there, but fortunately, still not there yet, though. So I don't think this is going as intended for BMG so far. But
yeah,
kind of having to deal with it.
It's kind of an awkward start for them, and I mean it's kind of an awkward start for both teams because I mean this Panny hasn't been able to leave his tower yet, so Midran should be okay though right here. Yeah, just kind of awkward around the board. I mean the only lane that's not is that bottom lane, and yeah, you're seeing it right here, Riptide and Deadwood mid.
They going at it? Yeah, they are. Kind of toe to toe right there. Man, I wonder if Deadlift, maybe he wasn't intending to jump, because, yeah, he went the boots first even, too, so maybe he was actually just intending to kind of be this laning secondary support presence here, but that's just so odd if that's the case. Like, what is he accomplishing?
It's going to be so difficult to kill this Mage Bane with the heroes they have, and actually, Aluna's dead.
She very likely could be. The Shards of Harkon is going to wear off. Look at him spawn the illusion, trying to block him at the last second, but now Moira's in trouble. Moira's dead, for that matter. He gets bloodlusted. Mageman chasing, trying to get the final auto attack. At least gets the kill onto a Luna in response, but it will be a 1-for-1. The bloodlust in favor of BMG, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I figured with the Moira actually blocking the path of Illuna to get out of there, that would be pretty free, but he couldn't use his illusion because of the deadlift being there, so good of deadlift to be there.
See bottom lane. Pharaoh's actually taking advantage of the lane kind of being pushed up. How's that been going? Pharaoh versus Doctor. You got Doctor 21-4, Pharaoh 18-2, so he's actually managed pretty well as Pharaoh here. Really has been a true 1 versus 1 when you think about it. As Doctor finds Lord Zalforus running into his jungle, but Zalforus not going to be scared apparently. He's just running him down with that life tap. So again, he pulls him in, but Zalforus, he should be fine.
Yeah, I guess now he's just going to jungle their woods. I guess they want farm on him, so just move him into the woods over here and no mid lane.
They're going to catch Riptide here. The follow up with the rotten grass. Is this enough? Yes, it is. That's the presence of Deadlift. He definitely has with this roam, so it finally pays off to get these early boots on Deadlift and running him around. That's a huge kill in the middle lane.
Yeah, definitely. They needed to do that as well. Like I said, Deadwood was having not major issues against Riptide, but definitely a good roam by Deadlift. Getting Deadwood to level 6 now means I believe he could probably solo kill him at this point. Oh, jungle.
Yeah, and another great setup from Deadlift right there. And you know, you notice he's doing a good job of using the death grip. He kind of sent it up. It could have been a straight line. It's actually top lane. Magebane nearly falls to a Luna Swiftblade. I didn't think that was going to be enough damage, but it almost was in the end. But he's maximizing the duration on that Deadlift stun, the death grip that is, with, you know, sending it kind of in a circle when you could just go a straight path, but of course the longer it lasts, the longer the stun will eventually be when it hits. So good job positioning it as he did to get the kill eventually. But back-to-back kills, so Tiltic all of a sudden went from having very little impact to now he's having quite a bit here.
Yeah, and now this Major isn't farming very well up here, so yeah, this game's it's definitely the power of Deadlift showing off right here. The power that of oh, mid lane. Oh,
there kill. Yeah, Pharaoh coming in.
Yeah, he missed his ulti and hit a creep, so it's never what you want to see, but
he tried at least. That could have been a big counter kill, of course. But yeah, getting that level 6 on Pharaoh and then setting up a kill with it is pretty important, so missing out on that kind of hurts, especially when his team has fallen behind a little bit in this early game. And Riptide, he's not doing too well. The death has definitely hurt him.
Yeah, now it looks like Deadwood actually has pretty good control of it. Oh, and top lane.
Yeah, Mora goes down. You see Magebane chasing down a Luna, putting an auto attack. Does have that mana rift. Is going to have to just get away, though, instead of making an offensive play here. Unless he chooses to go back in, which he is. Is he going to mana rift, maybe? Yeah, he thought about it. Wouldn't have been a kill, though. And now Deadlift joins the party. Uh-oh. Probosc, can he avoid this Q? No, he cannot. He got hit, and Maka gets the kill. So the greed is real for Probosc. It does cost him his life in the end. And now a 5-1 start in favor, with Deadlift being involved in 4 of those kills.
Yeah, it's just so hard to deal with against that hero. No matter where it is, you can still get ganked by it. So definitely using the hero to its full effectiveness. And they need to get some wards, kind of, not deep wards, but they need to catch this Deadlift rotating. Because he's going to go mid right now, and he was completely unseen. So could be a kill.
You know, it is really interesting as here we go again. Oh my god, it hits. Now, is this a kill? It should be. Will it make... Oh, nice Eye of the Storm, actually. Trying to defend himself. Here comes Pharaoh, even. And Riptide is going to survive the initial onslaught. Now, Deadlift. He's on the run here. And I think he is going to be fine unless Moira joins the party, which she is with the illusion. So we definitely got a fight breaking out right here. The Death Grip is going to hit. Oh, and it comes up short onto Riptide. Deadlift ends up falling. And Deadwood will also go down. Swiftblade, he comes spinning in. He is going to be able to take out Riptide in response, at least. And the 2-for-1 exchange will be how it ends, it looks like. Here in the middle, but that was quite the fight. Oh, maybe not. Here comes Dr. Repulsor now. He joins it, and Pharaoh gets caught here in the middle. Gets dove on more so. Those plated Greaves, God, they make him tanky, but not enough in the end. He is enough to kill him. So a 3 for 1 is the big picture there.
Yeah, and slight misplay by Panny there. He used the Q on himself, and he wasn't anywhere near close to Pharaoh, so the stun didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, BMG's really making use of their heroes. They're even having their doctor run around with them at this point, so.
Oh, look at Swift Blade here top lane. Has Swift slashes. Death Grip. Yep, here we go. Mage Bean is like, what's going on? Okay, I'm drifting. Oh, there's the Swift slashes. Down when he's dead. God, it lasts for so long. 3.5 seconds at this level, as long as it's like near max range, which I think that was. And then, yeah, the spin on top of the Swift slashes. It's just Mage being completely caught there. But what can you do? And here's it goes again. Oh, geez. Mora, she at least got her stun off, so she's going to be fine initially. But she cannot. Oh, the Pharaoh again. He came in late. Sloske tried to make a play. Unfortunately, hits the creep wave. And now deadlift. No, he's fine.
Oh, Riptide. Oh, Riptide didn't go for it.
Oh, yeah, Riptide's coming in, actually. He's going to hit deadlift. There's that watery grave. You do see that burst damage, but it's not enough. Deadlift is a little too tanky here, despite only having a blood gels and striders. He actually survives it, so. Yeah, but deadlift, man, this hero as.
Oh, Sloske sniped Swiftblade in base.
Forest
hit him. Yeah, Forest hit him with the ulti, and he got down to about 90 HP. And yeah, that's a max rocket, and they killed him in base.
Yeah. Didn't catch that.
That's a good kill. Neither did I. I just happened to see him die, and I mean, I saw the ulti go off, but did not see the rocket. So I mean, well played by Sloske there.
Yeah, at least snapping him out with that level 4 Tormented Soul now. So he is maxing that out first. Obviously 200 magic damage. That's actually a pretty intense kind of missiles coming out there constantly. But yeah, again, deadlift, it's really interesting how this hero has worked. How initially when we first kind of started seeing him and what you would kind of expect them is that he's just this mass pusher. You know, he's known for pushing in towers in like a minute and a half. I think we even saw it at the beginning of the game. Yet this game, he's bringing 0 push presence, yet his gank presence is also apparently absurd with that death grip. And that's what we're seeing her here, as we've seen now a couple times. So it really is interesting how you can play this hero one of 2 different ways pretty damn effectively. Now, as I say, this middle lane, Deadwood, he's going to get caught here in the middle lane. Deadlift is trying to push them away. He gets hit by the Eye of the Storm, and now Deadlift is going to fall. So ends up being a kill on him. But Deadwood coming back in, gets immediate revenge for his dead teammate. The Deads defend each other. Kind of 1 for 1.
Yep, the Deads stick together.
You'd say that.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just this deadlift is having such a high impact at this point. He's just everywhere on this map, and he's just causing havoc for this Hellborn team. And you're even seeing Probus farm. It's not very much at this point. So they need to start turtling a little bit on this Hellborn team and really try to get some farm on this Mage Bane.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, what do you do for the Hellborn side? Sure, he's also a turtle, but what kind of openings do they have right here? And, I mean, I guess getting Pharaoh to get him to initiate with the level 6 with that Riptide perhaps to set up kills, but they're constantly just playing pressure themselves. They're constantly having to play defensive, it feels like, because of this pressure from BMG on the other hand, so they can't really set up themselves.
Mage Bane's going to be in trouble here if he doesn't just get out right now and not be greedy. Oh, jeez.
Oh, he is able to dodge it. There's no way it goes that long.
Okay. That's what you think.
Yeah.
But it does go that long.
It's ridiculous. So, you see that Sustainer picked up on Baltazar in the meantime. Yeah, we haven't really addressed him too much, but he's been down here at the bottom lane, 420 or so gold per minute. He's going Nullstone, actually. What do you think of that?
Like I said, I really like seeing the icon on that hero. And he kind of needs the Nullstone. They picked it into Mage Bane Moira, so it is pretty crucial he gets that item eventually. But yeah, I would have still liked to see the icon with how much pressure they're putting out and the kills they're getting. But Swiftblade's 512 GPM. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, he's definitely reaped the benefits of what's gone up there at the top lane. 5-1-1 helps a lot with that, but obviously, yeah, in general, too, the creep farm is also really strong. He went the Energize for the Abyssal Skull. Look at this top lane. They caught with the deadlift. Now it's not enough for the kill. And now actually Swiftblade, he is going to get caught.
Yeah, there's 4 heroes in there with him.
Yeah, they used a lot right there to make sure he wasn't getting out. And now here comes an Eye of the Storm, actually. Riptide's will try to catch deadlift. He should be able to. There we go. And the follow-up, it's a kill and a deadlift. So great counters there from the Hellborn side, actually. Keeping Magebane alive ultimately, too, is a big deal. And, I mean, that's what I guess they need to be able to respond like that.
Yeah, that's the big thing is Magebane did live there. That's the and mid lane.
Is Pharaoh in trouble? He's kind of fighting them off here. He's trying to defend his tower. Maybe deny it? No, he went too early, and now he's dead. He stood his ground trying to make a play right there. Here comes Salforce, though, and Riptide, dead with level 11. He does have a Willowmaker here, so yeah, you got to be careful not to let him use it on you. They kind of go, and Magebane blinks in, and they get the kill onto Deadwood, actually. Now Magebane, he wants more. I don't think you're getting more, though, in this case. We'll fall back. Yeah, I mean, so this has been a great start here for BMG, but, I mean, this is definitely not over. Magebane, he even got a kill right there. He's now back to the top lane. We all know once he gets a Rune Cleaver, this is a great counter Dr. Repulsor team, so I still think there's actually okay chance here for Fresh.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you even saw that last game. I mean, they were behind all of last game, but they just never gave up hope. And they have the same basic thing this game. Magebane does what Silhouette does. So, yeah, they can still pull this game out. They just really need to get him that Runed Axe and get him as much farm as they can. And they just need this deadlift to stop. They just need vision of the deadlift because if deadlift catches Magebane, he'll pretty much die almost every time if there's another hero there.
Yeah. It essentially could be up to a 4-second stun here. Now he's actually, deadlift is only level 6, so maybe that's also kind of a saving grace. He is not necessarily scaling too well this game. He has spent so much time roaming around, not really farming at all, just trying to help set up kills, which of course is fine, but you know, being level 6, the lowest level in the game at 15.5 minutes, that's also not that great. So that's definitely a down factor for BMG right now too.
Yeah,
so he's falling behind.
The thing with that hero is it doesn't need those crucial levels. I mean, it's finding and that's not what you need to happen. He went Lex on Deadwood. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, making really good use of that item, and gotta get a kill on Probust there and slow down that Runed Axe even more.
Unfortunately, Probust didn't have vision up here to see that.
Oh, and here comes the Q from Deadlift.
Yeah, there it continues. Riptide gets caught now in the middle. He too will go down. Moira is trying to get her distance here. Can she dodge that? She can, but Doctor flies in. He's going to chase her down. Yeah, no mana, though. In fact, Doctor needs to be careful. Here we go. Pharaoh comes in. Dr. Pulsar goes down, so yeah, this dive a little too much. There's a resurrection, though. Nope, they kill the gravestone. That 4-second cast time. Good luck with that. That's on cooldown now.
I mean, this is just... It's just so hard to watch Deadlift. I mean, I just watched Riptide die from 4 miles away because of a root. It's just so hard. It's just so hard to watch because it's just you feel so bad for whoever gets rooted because you can't do anything against it. There's just it's just so hard to deal with and yeah.
But there has to be a way.
When you get your nullifiers and you get your Geometer's Veins, yes. But I mean, look, Salforce just please stop. Please stop.
I guess the way to be again. So it's obviously a very, very, very powerful ability. I mean, there's no doubting that. So how you can say right now, at least argue how you play against it, is just kind of making sure that you're somewhat sticking together and you're able to respond as soon as possible, or just be ready, with the TPs, things like that. I know that's a crappy way to go about it, but if there is a way to deal with it, maybe that's kind of the only route, essentially, of. As we see up here at the top lane, actually, Magebane, you should be fine. But, just making sure. I mean, we saw earlier, they're able to respond pretty well. Pharaoh's a good hero for that, and Moira, of course, good at that. So they happen to be somewhat nearby, at least. In fact, they're going to make a play here. Yeah, you see Pharaoh going in, actually, onto Aluna. And Aluna's going to end up dying. Yeah, the Shards of Harkon will finish her off. Meanwhile, off to the side, Riptide caught Deadwood, actually. But look at that Willowmaker damage. He went from full to nothing. The Lex Talionis with the Willowmaker. Holy crap. Riptide just melted away right there. What a turn for Boxy.
Yeah. I guess the positive here for this Hellborn team is the Probus does have his cleaver at this point, and they need to give him as much as they can at this point. He needs to become a split-pushing threat. Once he gets geometers, he'll be a decent split-pushing threat. The problem is, South Forest got, or Pharaoh got caught.
There you go, though. That's what we're talking about. You got the response here. And there's the Undying applied to Swiftblade. Are they going to try to make a play? Pharaoh, he doesn't have the Wrath of the Pharaoh, so probably think keeping them away. I mean, Swiftblade's getting so low, but yeah, they just don't have the follow-up here, being on a cooldown, so we'll actually escape. Lord Self Forest Glowstone now, so he with the Void Talisman with now the Glowstone pickup. Interesting there.
Yeah. I'm more of just for the Deadwood, I guess. Just he doesn't want to get 100-0 by Deadwood, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Void's never really a bad item. It's just it can keep you alive in those really. Oh, here comes Deadlift Q. Okay.
Misses right there.
We see this Legion team now. They're going to start grouping up, like you said. Actually, he doesn't have one into Onslaught yet, which is relatively interesting. I mean, there's should really just put 1 point in it. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at earlier. I mean, the way that he's playing this especially, I mean, we've seen before, you know, when Fine has played it for Mystery Gang and a couple of times that this seems like more the typical build, but at least the one in Onslaught, as you're pointing out there, but the idea of being able to push towers, you know, make all the creeps attack, like right now, like that would have made it push that much faster right there to kill the tower. So yeah, not having at least a 1 point in it is a little curious, but it's kind of taken away from that aspect of the hero of actually being a really strong counter pusher or pusher for that matter. But got to think he probably will get it next level.
Yeah, and he really is under leveled. I mean,
yeah.
I'd like to see him maybe start getting some camps. I mean, getting 11 even for his second ulti. I mean, it's still weak, but it's definitely better than the first level of that ulti.
You see BMG though, they know that they have an early lead here, of course, and they're making use of it. They are playing this correctly, definitely. I mean, they're grouping up, pushing towers. They know that when it comes to fights right now, they scare Fresh most certainly, and there's another tower kill in their favor. There is still the top outer tower, but other than that, they've now have 5 tower kills coming out. But Magebane, you know, he is farming away. Look where he's farming, actually. He's farming the Legion jungle, so he's like, you know what? They constantly are in our Hellborn jungle. I'm just going to go to your jungle.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways, it is the safest place to be on the map right now. He sees all 5 heroes, so this by far is the safest place, and definitely good for him to be in this jungle, and this is definitely the risky approach they have to take.
This game, though, it's just I'm getting that feeling, like as great of a start it's been for BMG, it just feels like that this Magebane, the way Fresh is kind of now playing this very passive, they're responding a couple of these times here to these ganks, and despite this lead kind of being solid for BMG, it feels like Fresh is still in a great spot. You know, again, it goes back to last game as well, I'm sure, and how they were able to come back here. So,
yeah, this game is definitely winnable. For the Legion side, I'd really would like to see them went the Astro on somebody, maybe even the Deadlift. He just finished the tablet, but Astro would have been a great pickup here. So, especially with the way they've been grouping up. But yeah, I mean, if this Magebane can continue to dodge like this and maybe get a Firebrand into a, it's hard to go Shrunk in this game because it's not the greatest, but like he does need it. So we'll have to see how he does itemize.
I think Geometer's Bane.
Well, yeah. Oh, he actually is going straight Shrunken.
Wow. Okay. So
yeah, I mean, of course, the Geometer's Bane is great because it works for the deadlift Q to get out of it. So it's definitely good. The Shrunken kind of does the same thing, and it will allow him to maybe he can avoid the Deadwood, be able to farm the jungle the same way. So.
It's definitely a very, very tight game. Again, the Deadwood, the Swiftblade, they still have a lot of presence to go through that Shrunken Head. So But yeah, he feels that it's just necessary to get ASAP, and he's getting there. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Boxy does take out Probus, so he's already mission accomplished right here, and now he's trying to get away. There goes Riptide flying past him. They do spot him, though, eventually, and they are going to kill him. Meanwhile, another one goes down on Mora as he gets support here. So it is now a 2-for-1. Dr. Pulsar still in the midst of it. Riptide, he's just kind of sitting on the outskirts. He has a TP, but he's I don't know what he was waiting for, honestly, and he goes down, too. So a 4-for-1 is how it ends. Boxy. Oh, wait, he got res. That's what I was like to do. My back? No. Oh, that's right. They have deadlift. So he got resed right there in the midst of it, too.
Little confused by what different guy was literally just. I wonder if he thought he used his TP and just wasn't looking down there anymore, or.
I think that's what it was, because, yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
Because he kind of just sat there. I mean, yeah, it has to be that. He probably just thought he TP'd out and didn't. But, I mean, that's some big kills for BMG, and this Hellflower is almost finished on Balthazar. And they're going to be able to make a lot of plays with the heroes they have. And, I mean, both their carries are almost at 500 GPM, so this game is getting a little bit out of hand for the Hellborn team here.
You have Dr. Repulsor farming out the bottom lane as Pharaoh comes in. We'll scare him off for now. I mean, you do see Pharaoh. Interesting choice by him, by the way. He is trying to go the Staff of the Master, which, by the way, was finished on Lord South Forest here, so that's good news. I don't know if a Staff on Pharaoh is necessarily like that. That feels like an item that you get if you're, like, pretty far ahead, but not one to recover.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be good for getting picks. So there's not a huge problem with that, but ooh, this Riptide's really deep.
Yeah, get the kill. They will get the kill, but now he's in a bad spot. He's in a very dangerous spot. However, Swiftblade, he's having to be careful now as the Arcane Vortex in the background stalls a Luna. Riptide will survive. You do see Swiftblade, he's taking a lot of damage to that Undying. Is going to eventually wear off and will be fine here. Well, speaking of picks, they get one there successfully.
Yeah, and any pick at this point is going to be one that helps them get back in the game. I mean, the experience lead isn't too much at this point, but that gold lead is pretty high. So if they could just get Probus, the Shrunken with the Geometer's Bane, they could be in a pretty good spot, but they need to just avoid and just not take these fights and not let him get caught by deadlifts, because he has no way of getting out of deadlift here right now.
Probus, 375 gold per minute here. Again, that death really did slow him down a bit, but grinding his way back up here. Trying to finish that Shrunken Head now. At least that's what we believe here. The Arcana purchased by Dr. Repulsor in the meantime, so he's going to be building the Hellflower next. And what did Swiftblade just buy?
Shroud, I believe.
For a split second. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, Shroud. Coming out. Yeah, Maki really is continuing to be fucked himself.
520. Yeah, it's just both those carries being at almost 500 is going to be especially hard for this Mage Bane if he doesn't get that Shrunken. If he gets caught without any support, Doctor can just probably 100 to 0 him pretty soon. So, ooh, they want to fight this.
That they do. Riptide, in fact, he's going in the front line. Eye of the Storm comes out, clashes on a Deadlift. He's in trouble. So is Aluna, actually. Aluna goes down, the Bound Eye drops, and down goes Deadlift. A sequence of events right here. Now, Boxy did pick off Moria. However, Lord Salforce is in chase, but here comes Swiftblade. And now Lord Salforce, he knows he's in a little bit of trouble here. Pharaoh the Rocket, it will hit, but it's not enough for the kill. But now Swiftblade, he is going to have to get the hell on out of there, but we're not done just yet. Or maybe we are. They're not going to pursue further. Understandable. Again, it's, you know, take your victories and don't overcommit is the name of the game right now for Fresh here. So they do that pretty well right there, and there's that Shrunken now on the Mage Bane. But middle lane, Riptide, he stuck around a little too long. It's picked off there. Hellflower Hunt Doctor now, jeez.
And he didn't even use it there either. And if Probus doesn't pick, okay, never mind. I thought he was gonna go farm mid lane. But yeah, I mean, it was basically a 2-for-2 with just the support. I mean, a 2-for-1, but then Riptide dying definitely put that in favor of the Legion team. So for Probusk and Fresh's sake, they really just need to get another item on him. And for Legion, they just need to keep up the pressure. They need to just use this deadlift queue. They can't kill Mage Bane anymore unless the Hellflower is supplied first. So.
Popped his Void Talisman and prevented the Willowmaker from going off there.
Yeah, there's the item value. Getting value out of the item, and their staff finished on Pharaoh, which, yeah, I'm siding with you a little bit on this one. I don't know if it was the best item. I feel like he maybe could have gotten...
An Abyssal Skull Soulsborg he could have gotten right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of item choices he could have went. Even a tablet would have been good. Even a Storm Spirit would have been nice to try to save his Mage Bane, so... I mean, that's 4.2k invested, and they really need to make something happen with that. They need to start getting a lot of picks.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any excuse to not have an Abyssal Skull on this team, and it almost frustrates me because it's this, again, they're hanging in here, and they're just doing enough to hang in here in this game, but at the same time, they're spending 4,200 gold on an item that you usually want to get if you're snowballing, and instead of getting like that Abyssal Skull with a 4 melee lineup with no lifesteal currently going up against a Deadwood and a Swiftblade, I mean, it's ridiculous how much the armor would do for this team on the Hellborn side. So items as simple as that, they really would be effective. We do see a big fight definitely taking place up here. Meanwhile, Pharaoh, did he miss? I believe he did. I guess it's going to be up shortly. To use an illusion. Okay, Riptide got picked off. Off to the side, Luna will go down. So 1-for-1 to start. Meanwhile, back here, Pharaoh eventually fell as he got a little too far up there. And now Swiftblade, he's going to chase down Moira. Very likely pick her off as she tries to TP away unsuccessfully. So the 3-for-1 favoring BMG here. Now they're going to start to break base, it looks like.
Yeah, they used everything on an illusion. The Riptide ultied the Deadwood illusion along with Pharaoh ulting the Deadwood illusion. Kind of just everything went bad there for BMG. Yeah, it's almost a little bit too out of hand at this point. Even if Probust can get geometers, it's just not going to be enough at this point. There's no secondary carry, even with South Forest being that farmed. And yeah, I definitely agree with you in the whole Abyssal thing. Like, 4 heroes that can use it well. Or 3 heroes that can use it well with the Pharaoh. I mean,
yeah, it's definitely an item that they should have, but for some reason do not, as Moira will help scare them off here. They do keep the racks up, so again, there still is hope left here for the Hellborn side, as I believe it's all tablet now purchased by Lord South Forest here, so a little more utility coming out for the makeup here. Shrunken Ambient worked on Riptide, and you do got the Firebrand, at least on Mage Bane, so I'll see that, perhaps that Geometer's Bane coming out here next. Talked about how big that could prove to be in this game. Full Ganjiro most likely going to be finished, though, on Swiftblade here. Coming up in a fight.
And a wing, yeah, the Wingbow, when he does split for it, is going to be very strong this game, so... Ooh, they're dancing around with Veiled Rots together.
Yeah, they are. Deadwood. No,
there's Deadwood. Oh, jeez.
Okay, now he's like, oh crap, I'm in a bad spot. He's on the run. He should be fine, unless Lord South Forest goes deep. Now, TP's already happening, though, so you don't want to commit too much here for the Hellborn side. They kind of are, though. Deadwood, he gets trapped in. Here comes that Eye of the Storm. Dr. Repulsor got caught off to the side. Swiftslash just bouncing around, though. Meanwhile, Moira throws in the Arcane Vortex. Mage Bane through all this. He's on the outskirts with that Shrunken Head. He still has a Mana Rift if he finds a use for it. Deadwood goes down. And now Dr. Repulsor is just kind of sitting there, but the silence goes out on a Mage Bane, the Hellflower that is. And so he's on the run. He's lost 2 teammates. Can he blink away in time? No, he cannot. The Death Grip keeps him in place. However, here comes Riptide turning. There's the resurrection from Deadlift onto Dr. Repulsor. It's a genocide for Bad Monkey Gaming here at this bottom. So, yeah, the fight, it kind of just went on a little too long there, I think, for Fresh. They chased a little too long. And then we saw the end result here. BMG coming on top.
And that's the power of that resurrecting the Doctor. I mean, it's like a free token on a Doctor, and we've seen how strong that is with an actual token. So, just having a permanent token basically on this Doctor is going to be a problem, even if this game was a little bit closer. But there's just not much they can do. I mean, if Mage Bane would have got the Mana Rift off there, it might have been pretty big, but just died. Didn't have it shrunken up, so should be a free racks for them.
Yeah. There you go. Free racks going down, and so much, so much for that feeling, honestly. It does seem like BMG has a good lead out, and clearly Fresh agrees there. GG well played is being called. We are going to a game number 3 here to decide our 3rd place finisher here for the Time to Win Heroes of New Earth Invitational. Deadlift had the very early start. Again, I will say his impact did taper off a bit as the game progressed, but he got this team the start that they needed, no doubt, in that early game,